As a bit of a rewind, as before the music starts, you had all started traveling over to the proper start of the Land of Storms, and you're currently on the precipice where at any point after this, it's gonna start getting really difficult to avoid the storms and, well, what you thought to avoid the goblins. You found a what seemed to be a goblin cap that seemed to be holding a humanoid fly hostage until you figured out that the humanoid fly seemed to be with them in some way and that the goblins did not look right even from a distance. After a couple of very interesting stealth checks, if anyone remembers, you all proceeded to follow this group back to the what you on your map have as the Gob Fort, which instead of being completely ran over by goblins, seems to have been taken over by a forge master called Maximilian, who most of you really don't know what to think of him yet. Some of you are more scared, some of you are far too comfortable. And we ended the last session with nobody. Kindle is standing directly in front of his door.
His laboratory.
You are holding your locket. You really don't know what's going to happen. You could simply go walk away. It's late. You could go to sleep right now. But you don't even know if you could sleep because of this music. It's You've heard it before at some point, but you don't know when. It is driving you insane. And in spite of him seemingly being, although weird, he is still kind. Him playing this music makes you think, is this guy our ally? Can I sleep under his roof? You could also grab your entire party, run. That idea also darts across your head. But you also know that he has already warned you that if you keep going into his territory, he will chase you, and you have seen some of these creatures. You don't know how long you'd be able to survive against them. Your mind is also crossed along the idea of killing this man. But firstly, you don't know his deal. You don't know if that's smart. But also, you don't know if killing him would lead to the end of the creatures, or that they simply would not have a leader. And if they didn't have a leader, what would happen then? So, after all these considerations, what is it that Kindle does?
So, Kindle's gonna do something that she's done before in the past to kind of help calm herself. So she takes the locket off of her and wraps the chain like around her hand, almost like some sort of pain stimulant, almost kind of thing, as a way to just remind herself that she is fine and to keep a level head. As she then knocks on the door.
I will say, as you knock on the door opens. In the far end, no, he seems to be on the complete other side of the room. You see him standing there. The thing that seems to have opened the door seems to be a humanoid angel like looking, the way you'd imagine someone imitating a seraphim would look like. Uh, Looks at you, looks at Abel, not a word. Or not at Abel, at Glaciel. I'm fucking mixing up names now. Maximilian, thank you. And Maximilian, you are used to Valmon, like, doesn't even need to look behind him to know who this is. Maximilian doesn't do that. He is working on what seems to be a body of one of his subjects, looks behind him and says, "Oh, it is you." And and then gestures to Abel for him to leave, sort of. Do you walk through the door after it has been opened?
Yes.
All right then. You walk in, your face wafts over with a air and the scent of cinnamon. As you notice around you, there are scented candles. And beneath it, there is a smell of rotten brimstone. As this is still a forge master, but the scent of cinnamon lightens it up a bit. The way that he's working on this body is very methodical. This is how you'd imagine a surgery would look like. And as Abel simply walks out, his creature closes the door behind him. You hear footsteps away, and then a brush of wind. As he then turns around and says, "In all honesty, I had expected this conversation to be later. You are very aware that you told me your name, so we can just put this all away. Are you still in the business of revenge?" And he is still slicing into this thing while talking to you.
Revenge? No. As far as I'm aware, he's dead. I don't need revenge.
He?
Is that not who you're
Okay,
talking
I'm
about?
back.
Oh, that may be a part. Oh, sorry, I had thought of it. Does this song discomfort you in any way?
A little.
All right. And then he whistles twice. Abel immediately comes back, flies back, opens the door, and says, "Could you change the song to would you rather have singing or instrumental?"
Sure. There's a question I need to ask you.
All right. Play the singing one. As Abel nods, leaves. Go right ahead.
What do you know?
That man that you're talking about. You remember that song, don't you?
Yes, but I don't remember why.
You know where you were captured. You remember a moment being spoken of, I assume? See, a man, when he used to work, this is the song he would use. That man is my father. The man your friend killed to save you. Would you like to roll insight to see if his intentions are at all aggressive?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Go ahead and roll for me.
That is a 17.
When you hear your friend killed my father, you are used to a very aggressive way of saying it. This man is almost completely neutral as he says this, as if he's stating a fact to get it over with. Close to that. As he says this, he then says, he was not the only one who was involved in this. As very abruptly, the piano playing just seems to end. He says, there was a much larger group. How much do you remember of your time?
Kindle takes a deep breath, lets it out. I am being strapped to a chair. I remember the chair folding out into a table. I remember being cut open. I remembered the magic that was used. I also remember the time that they took me off the table onto some magic circle. I also remember what happened afterwards.
Good.
And just so
It
you
means that
know,
at least with
Seraphy was not the one that killed him.
well, about the first thing, that means at least they were kind enough to eventually use anesthetic with you. And secondly, who is the person who did?
Me.
And you can see he starts laughing as he looks at you and says, "You don't even know my intentions, and you're just telling me that you killed my father. You really are daring. Makes me believe it as well. At least with you, they were fine with using anesthetics they used with all the others. When they only had 9 victims, or the words that they used were subjects, they needed an extra. And my dad thought, if he succeeds, my family will ascend into greatness. When I was strapped to that chair, they did not offer me the same courtesy. My father said that I could handle it. When that thing entered me, unlike you all, I was awake. I felt every part of it. I could not let it enter me. I could not let it take me like had happened to you all. So I did the only thing I thought I could. I killed it. Since then, its corpse has been rotting and leaving pus inside of me. My dad called me a disappointment while I was suffering. Since then, this, as he removes his gloves and shows his face properly, the leaking of what seems to be pus or tar, it's a deep black, like a void spilling from his eyes, his fingernails. This has been leaking out of me ever since. How is it that you have managed to accept that that happened to you? Do you never look into it? Did you really believe it was a one-man operation?
I knew there was more. I just didn't have proof.
There was certainly more. As he turns around, continues working, he starts slicing with what seems to be a butcher knife. But this time, just seems to have dumped away the gloves, even though he definitely should be working with gloves, and says, although I will say this, for someone who had a demon inside of them, they seem remarkably well adjusted. Or is it have? I'm unsure.
Bit of both. To be honest, he's more like a
Did you
friend
kill
at this
it too?
point.
And
What
at
did
that
he
point,
say?
at the mention of curiosity, I would like for you to roll wisdom.
Oh boy.
He said he is just surprised at hearing this.
Oh hey, that's nice. Okay, 18.
Good. You can hear curiosity does not like what he is looking at. This thing that he's looking at is absolutely infuriating him. You don't know what is happening, but this is the first time curiosity has ever acted up. But you're very much, due to how well you're rolling, you are holding him under. You see, he stops working for a second after hearing he is more like a friend to me. And stops, goes next to him on a table, bunch of books, papers scattered everywhere. This is not a clean worker. This guy's messy. And grabs a piece of paper, reads it. The newborn. Puts it back. And says, while still looking away from you, is it a true demon? Like with me, or does it act like a demon?
The one inside of me was created. He's only been around for 7 years, remember correctly? He's basically like a child, I guess. He's still learning and he's curious about everything. I'm trying my best to teach him. Or them.
You get to hear stops. In this moment, you gain a realization. You are realizing, in spite of what happened to you and everything, compared to this man, you were incredibly lucky. He stops. Seemingly stops working, thinks for a second at hearing this. Huh. When your friend came and destroyed the whole place, I remember her escaping with you. She didn't notice anyone else. Which was fair enough. We were all down in the cages while you were being transported, considering that you were by far the most successful of the actual victims. But she never saw us, and, well, when the building collapsed, we thought it was over. That's how I know who you were. I remember seeing you. You were the last of us. You were strapped to the chair almost right when you got found. And when I heard a friend show up and then slicing, I thought it was her who had killed my father. Still kind of confused about that part. And he looks back at you for a second, and you realize that from his expression, if he was crying, you would not be able to tell. Which he seems to be abusing to a certain extent. I have since then devoted my life to finding every single person responsible, and when I can, help the other victims. Question: how many of us do you think there were?
More than I think. Considering the evidence that I have found.
There were 10 of us. Not all of us good people. Some of us even being people who were part of the program. This was made by a group of rich elites called Oblivion's Chainers. I have the names written down over there as he points towards the table, and the names of all of the victims, and what they called each of the things they put inside of us. If you want to, you can look at them.
I wouldn't mind that. If they're over in the
Do you
mortal realm, I can probably help them too.
That is not my goal. As when you walk over and you said that, he looks at you the way that he looks at you. You don't know how you did it. You lost that thirst for revenge years back. Maybe, honestly, the moment that you lost that thirst for revenge was when Glaciel was struck and you realized there was a price to it. The way he looked at you, you realize saving the victims is not his priority. It is killing these people that were involved. Now, I'm going to give you the list in both just as a message. This is firstly of the people who were involved as the actual chainers. Terrani Olvido, which was his father. All the other ones, some of them you remember the names of. For example, Marcel, Calypso, and Thalion. These are all people that you have met since. Especially Marcel trying to get the demon out of you now makes a lot more sense. And then you look at the names of all of the victims, and the strange thing is there is an overlap. As both Cassigan Milana is in both lists, and Thalion Grimforge, the scientist that you spoke to in the prison, was one of the people on the list of both the victims list and the Oblivion's chainers. And you realize next to your name is the newborn. And next to Maximilian's name is the leaking void. That waft of cinnamon goes over you again as you read these lists. Do you copy them over?
Yes.
I'd assume there's an empty piece of paper. As you copy them over, you feel a heat towards where Maximilian is, as what seems to be flames show up. And you can see he holds both of his arms down in front of him and says, "That night again." Looks at you, you're copying everything over, looks at you for a second, looks back, and says, "Are you done with revenge after seeing this?"
Your focus is killing the ones involved. My focus is helping the victims. If you want, we can help each other. Because to be honest, I would like to stop them. And then at the cost of my friends.
He looks at you, tilts his head, and says, "I appreciate the diligence." But then he gets a more grave look on his face, looks at you. "Well, He's putting on his gloves, not even looking at the gloves. Gets close to you to an almost unnecessary degree and says to you, never let them tell you that your mercy makes you strong.
It never was.
He proceeds to simply, and this is the first time when he looked at you in his eyes there. I'm not even going to have you roll an insight check for this. Is, in spite of this man, this has to have happened years upon years upon years ago. Over a decade at the very least. It is as if the anger inside of him is as fresh as the day it was there. And he, after grabbing his gloves, grabs his hammer. His hammer grows from completely black to glowing in a purple flame, walks out, and that anger gets immediately replaced by the formal control that he had earlier. Opens the door, leaves them open, and walks out. I will say, you are still in the room. There are other books on this table. They are clearly his. If you want to keep prying, you can. Or you can simply leave to your room. And maybe even inform everyone else that maybe this is a man we can trust.
I'm going to leave to my room. If I have any questions,
Alright.
I will ask him directly.
All right then. Okay, so I'll say everyone's room outside of Mr. N's is pretty close to each other, and I'll say even though outside of Thanada, actually outside of Thanada and Kairos will be standing outside because I don't think Kairos is comfortable in this current situation, right?
No.
At
No,
least
he's
not after the way Kindle was acting last session. I will
Yes.
say,
And-
for both Kairos and
After that.
Thanada, Kindle does look a lot more relaxed.
What does Kindle think in this
Mhm.
situation? Tell us what your mind is going through.
For Kindle, this went from being scared of, oh no, is it going to happen again? And this time I get to watch it happen to my friends, to maybe I can find a way to get what I want without costing
Jag såg väl en del.
my friends.
Jag vaknade upp flera gånger. Jag
So, in a
So it's-
weird way, you think you can
är
manipulate this.
jättetrevlig.
No. If anything, I want to
Alright,
be
then.
his. If anything, I want to be partners.
Det är de här
He never responded to you with the idea of that he absolutely does appreciate the victims being helped. But for a second, it feels like the mask that he was wearing, that formal kindness that he had, just disappeared to reveal this man is furious. That same anger that you recognize in yourself, that anger that made you several times thinking of that your life was not important and that you might as well end it. You don't know much about this guy, but this has given you a lot more of an insight. And I will say okay, so I'll say Thanada, Kairos, both standing outside. I'll say upon hearing like a bit of the noises that are being made outside, Glacial will also step outside. Fern, where are you currently in the castle? It is late. I will tell you this. It is like 9 p.m.
I would assume I'd headed back to my room at this point.
I'll say you head back a second after Kindle is back. And you're all standing outside of your rooms, all of them on the same side. You don't know where Mr. N's room is, but in all honesty, trying to track Mr. N is its own bother.
Yeah.
And
So Kairos will
Crow. Yeah. Well, one more thing. One more thing is Crow also exists.
Yep.
Crow, what are you currently doing? Are you also going to head to your room, or are you doing something else?
I'm gonna be sitting outside, just looking out.
All right then. Yeah, I'll say this, Crow. The gray wastes are not a comforting sight for a man such as you, especially because as you're on the precipice between where normal land ends and where the storms start to begin, this is the last place that you would want to be mentally. Usually being outside is a comfort, now being outside is a burden, almost. And we'll step back inside. Kairos. Right ahead.
When Kairos sees Kindle, he will say, I was worried for you earlier. Glad to see you're looking okay now. I put alert on your door just in case.
Yes,
But-
while neglecting to put it on 9.
I was about to say a bit over protective, a little bit, and unnecessary.
Well, you seemed bloody terrified.
Yeah, well, let's just say bad memories.
Why did the song change?
Part of the bad memories. He changed it to make me feel a bit more comfortable.
Upon hearing this, she squints a bit. I think takes something to herself, says, "Huh." And Laciel, now peeking her head out of the door, says, so it's fine? Is he not going to stab us in our sleep?"
No, he's not.
Up comedically says, "He has a hammer. He'd bludgeon us in our sleep." Right then.
Kindle
And I'll say
smiles at
this,
that a little bit.
Fern also enters, by the way, at this point.
Hmm?
After a long day of playing with Caesar.
Caesar.
Also, about
That's what you
Caesar,
named it.
roll Arcana for me.
Me? That. Eesh, that did not go too well. 7.
7.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. So, you only get the really direct wafts
My mother is sitting here
Caesar.
staring at me.
Oh.
Very confused.
You only get the direct ideas from Caesar, which is that this thing is an undead. It's cute, but in a lot of ways, it is very much the opposite of what you as a druid of the Everdark believe in. Life after death is not a thing. So for you to see it done on something so cute is just confusing. Most of the times when people do it, it is very big demons, very large skeletons, giants, whatever. This is not what you would expect that something this evil could be used for. And unlike everyone else, Fern has had a much more comfortable conversation with Maximilian, although she would be surprised at seemingly how much he stops himself from caring about Malin and his family in Waterdeep. Is there anything else you guys would like to talk about or do before you take a long rest?
So, Kindle is probably gonna go back to her room. And she wants to have a talk with Curiosity and figure out what happened.
All right then.
Because that's definitely something that she
Um,
should know.
That might take a bit. So if there's anything anyone else would like to do, because I don't know how this conversation would go.
No.
All right then.
I'm trying to.
Okay. So all of you step into your rooms outside of Crow, who's likely going to step in much, much later when he actually feels like he needs to sleep. No worries, you'll still get the bonus of a long rest, even though you sleep later. It's fine. So this room is clearly it. Although it's good, it is clearly has just been set up with the materials that they got maybe a little bit ago. This place was never planned to have guest rooms. Let's say it like that. Was originally a temple, then got turned into a goblin fort. And even after so much cleaning has been done, after so much reconstructing, you can still smell a bit of the goblin. It's not like his laboratory, which still smells of that lovely cinnamon. No, it still smells a bit iffy. None of the alarms have gone off, Kairos. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll say you sit down, Kindle. And well, after the second that Maximilian was gone, curiosity immediately, sort of all that wanting to do something disappears. And so what is it that you want to talk about with curiosity?
What angered you?
He smells of death.
Smells of death. What does that mean?
That thing in him is me.
It's one of your kind, yes. It's not you, but I get what you're saying.
He is not friend. Let me.
Kindle takes a calming breath.
I
And-
still smell him.
And she's trying to think of a way to best explain this. When it comes to me and you, we are different. I see you as a friend. I see you as someone that I can trust. However, for him, it was, for both me and him, it was forced upon us. I accepted you, but he did not want to accept it. So we accidentally ended up killing him, yes.
Does he know mistake?
I believe he does.
I would like for you to roll both insight for me and then persuasion.
Alright. Okay, give me 1 second. So the insight was an 18. The persuasion is a 21.
Okay. So, from what you remember from the conversation with Maximilian, this man may very, very deep down, now that he's heard that yours was like friendly to you, he may be thinking to himself that might have been a mistake, but it is like it's such a thought that he's not even willing to entertain. That he just kind of stays quiet, and
Kindle,
even
Kindle,
if maybe you did not lie, but you definitely did omit that he definitely did kill the thing that had entered him intentionally.
Kindle will try her
And-
best to explain that for both him and me, it was terrifying. We did what we had to in order to live. I accepted you. And he did what he had to.
Curiosity's mind, you can feel this, drifts back to the moment where you and Glaciel were together in a chair, with Marcel holding you guys hostage. And he feels like he remembers that same feeling of being trapped. That same feeling that started all of this. And in spite of wanting desperately to not have Maximilian anywhere near him, in spite of what he is, or what Curiosity is, in that he doesn't really care much about other people outside of you and him and your friends. He is able to understand enough to where he will now restrain himself. As much as an archdemon can, of course. And is there anything that anyone would like to do before they fall asleep? Including Crow, maybe an hour later.
Pyros will most
what I
likely
think,
make sure that Glaciel's all tucked in and then head to his bed.
Roll perception for me.
Okay. That is a. Hang on. A 19.
She seems to be reading a book that's in a different language.
Time for bed, Glacier. Time for bed.
Okay. And she puts away the book.
I tuck her in and then I go to my room.
All right then. Also roll inside for me.
Okay. That is a. That is a 9.
Okay. Yeah, there's a pretty good chance that she didn't pick up the book again. Now, anything else? Also, I think Unreal's wanting to say something.
Huh?
Didn't you want to say
Mm.
something like you said it at the same time as
No.
Lachlan? Oh, no, so you just want to say nothing. Okay.
No, I said no.
Crow, anything?
I'm extremely exhausted in person today. So everything's a little slow with me. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's fine.
You're talking to the person who's running on 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah. And is about to keep running.
Like
Okay.
I'm running on technically like I don't know 5 hours of sleep, but I kind of woke up multiple times throughout the night, and it's ruined me.
Fair enough. No, I'm in Ramadan right now. It's horrible. Like you have to wake up like at like 5 a.m. just to eat.
Yeah.
I don't
Ah.
even have to get up in the morning. I woke up at like 1 in the morning.
I'm just
Fell
fucked
asleep
up.
at 1:30. Then I woke up at like 2:30.
This zombie is really fun, isn't it?
Couldn't fall asleep until like 3. Before I finally fell asleep at
Yeah,
some
it's
point
one of
after
those.
3 and then wake up before 6 in the morning.
Fair enough. Now I'm gonna say this, by the way, your characters probably do sleep a bit better than that. Maybe not much better, but you do sleep better. I think at this point you guys have gotten used to
I
the
could
constantly
say,
changing environments.
you know, I have an exhaustion point in real life. It is not fun.
Mhm.
No worries, it doesn't translate. Um,
It's good.
So-
That's good.
you can continue if you want.
No, I can sit here. I'm,
Okay.
I'm
That'd be an
leaning on a
interesting
chair.
campaign idea.
Oh no.
It would be so horrible, and we'd need to all be IRL.
Give everyone
Uh,
alcohol in real life and then have a DP
No,
campaign.
Oh my
I cannot.
god.
I could not even
Yeah.
DM or be part of that.
Neither can I!
I know you could.
Okay, Nodi, you
You're not
technically
old
can,
enough
but
for
I
that.
know damn well you've been
Guy.
given
You're not
Sutton.
old enough.
No, I have not.
You
Also,
wait a
why are-
little longer.
Why are there 2 people out of the campaign? Is the music that bad?
Hey, where did you guys go?
There's
What
no
do you mean?
music.
Yeah, we're Lachlan and Sky.
Wait, what?
You're
It
not.
says bottom.
Oh, there's
Says bottom
Lachlan.
left that
There you
guys-
go.
oh, no, now you're there.
He
What?
disappeared.
My connection
Oh,
turned
names
bad.
are gone on my end.
Oh, wait.
Was
my,
this
my
was
connection
the
was just
singing
bad,
that
so I just
bad?
had to.
No,
No, the
I-
connection just
Mm.
disconnected.
Oh,
and
Technical
I
difficulties
wanted
are
to ask
understanding.
throughout the whole deal with Kindle if it was
Yeah.
Abel singing.
It was not Abel singing. No, I can tell you that Abel is completely non-communicative.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this again. Speaking is a very, very,
Very rare
rare
thing.
skill
Yeah.
among a creation of a fourth master. Like Fly's Eyes, like you guys have met 2 up until now, which were Fly's Eyes and Blue Fang. Which Blue Fangs does not look like it should speak, but it can speak. Now, as you all wake up, it wasn't the best night of sleep, but you've had worse. You're adventurers. You've had to not even sleep for days. So honestly, having a decent night's rest on, although in an uncomfortable bed, still a bed. And I don't know, what does Fern sleep in actually?
That
Never
is the
thought
question.
about it.
How do they sleep?
I imagine they sleep a lot like how a deer does, and just on the floor type thing. Or they jump on the bed and just sleep like that anyway.
Mm,
You just go on the bed but
I'm-
sleep
I'm
like a
not sure
deer.
I'm not sure. I'll be
Would-
honest.
would-
She,
would
she is a
Fern
deer,
sleep
so I wouldn't be
standing
surprised
up?
if she just lay down on the. Oh, deer actually lay down.
Yeah, deer actually.
they?
So she
You
would
might just
Yeah,
lay
they do.
down.
It's horses
Uh,
that doesn't.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
pretty small, so you would be able to fit on a decently sized bed.
I feel like she either would just like lay down similar to a deer, or she would just like lay down next to the bed and lean like the human half onto the bed or something.
Yeah, it would be
Loaf.
inconvenient as per usual. At least from what I remember,
Be
in
a
your
loaf.
home in the Everdark, you never had a bed. So for you, a bed's kind of just an inconvenience.
Exactly. It's just more comfortable than a tree stump.
There is definitely enough space for you to sleep normally, and the carpet.
Be a
so you'll be
loaf.
fine. Yeah, oh god, dear loaf. I don't know. I think that's just a sitting position. I think that's like sitting.
That's
I don't think that's
sitting.
really comfortable for
That's
sleep.
sitting.
Cats loaf, and often
Yeah.
sleep in loaf.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's cat,
Away from the
not
loaf.
deer.
Move away from the loaf.
Yeah, let's move away from the loaf.
Loaf.
Yeah, but she's right next to me. God damn it!
I'll say your cat's absolutely loafing though.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
Question: How did
Exactly.
it
That's
go?
what I said.
Oh,
But she's right
how did
next
it
to
go
me.
yesterday? Yeah. How did it go yesterday between Caesar and Basil?
If I remember correctly, it went pretty
I
well.
believe she. Yeah.
Alright.
She's faced worse creatures over in the Everdark. They're just like, well, you don't have a single thought in your head. If I
Yes.
thwack this, what do? You run after it. Okay, I'll continue doing this thing.
Fair enough. I'll say, Fern, you hear some scratching on the door.
Mm. She'll open the door.
Before you can even think, as you like slightly open the door, Caesar runs in surprisingly fast for a dog that small, and immediately runs towards Basil. I think Basil even gets scared and starts running away.
We got 3 a.m. zoomies. Uh-oh.
So Basil just run. I just assume like you open the door, you watch Caesar run in. Caesar runs in, jumps on the bed to Basil. Basil sees it,
Like
sees
zigzag
Caesar,
between my
gets
legs, I
scared,
assume.
runs out the door. Caesar follows. Although Basil's much faster. Caesar, what's it called, is a very resilient, and both of them are just gone. If you're gonna need to leave quickly out of this castle, may God have mercy. Because it'll take you years to find Basil at this point.
No, no.
Okay. Yeah. Um. Uh. As you guys all step out, I'll say at the sound of Basil Basil and Caesar just sprinting, that makes enough noise to wake up most of you. Um. Is there anything anyone else is doing as they wake up?
Kairos will go and then check on what was her name again? Not
Glacial?
Glaciel. The
Canada?
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 Storm Giant, was it? Yeah.
Canada.
Yes, the Storm
Canada.
Giant, yeah.
Canada.
Canada is awake, but she's seemingly upset. You don't. If you could roll an insight check to see maybe what is generally going on in there.
Okay. That's a 16.
Okay, so I will say you aren't able to look very deeply into her, but you can see her biggest grievance is absolutely, why aren't we going? We should just like move where we, because for her, in her mind, we're gonna have to stay here at least another day. Certain wherever, however he sends his the bodies will likely take the entire day, if not a bit longer. And although she's able to keep it quiet, she's clearly not happy. She wants to get this over with. She's awake. She's functioning. As she looks at you and says, you'll need to check up on me. You don't need to feel bad because you didn't put alarm on my door. I can handle myself.
Still, I am sorry that I didn't think of you.
You'll be fine, mate. And just walks past you, taps your shoulder twice. I'm gonna see if I could find a place to, I don't know, move a bit. I can't stand still. And walks around the corner, seemingly just is gone. Glaciel also seems to already be out. And checks up outside, sees that Thana's leaving. Looks at you. What does Kindle do? Is Kindle still in her room?
Kindle will be up and out already. She will
Alright.
probably check in on Winter right before she did anything. And then afterwards, she would just actually explore this time because she didn't explore last time.
Fair enough.
Walks down the corridor. Suddenly, there's a cat flying past with a dog following after.
We can roll a luck roll for that. That can happen. I hope Basil doesn't wreck everything. I'll try to
Also, I
escape
will
the
say,
unending chase of Caesar.
Snow is on Kindle's shoulder visibly. She's not invisible this time.
Oh, that's gonna be
Alright, then.
interesting.
Hmm.
Visibly as in normal cat mode, right?
Yes.
Not
Yes.
demon cat. Yeah.
Yes. Normal cat mode.
Something that Snow does not like, but it is what it is. So I will say you walk out. Have you studied the list at all?
I imagine Kindle wants to look around first and then come back to her room later and then study it. And then after they get out of here, Kindle is going to tell everyone what she knows because she wants to figure this out first before she says anything.
Okay. So there are everything that would have been in like both a temple and a that got turned into a goblin fort. But also it has been changed into a castle. This is a place that has metamorphosed through several different iterations through several different owners. What seems to be there is a library, there's a prayer room. Hell, there even seems to be there's a small dungeon at the that seems to be in a basement. No one in it, thankfully. There seems to be a small place that's like made to be a dining room by him. You don't know where he went, by the way. While you're exploring, you can't find him. It seems to be a training area also somewhat made by him. And like there just seems to be there's even I'm pretty sure you passed by one. There is just a room that it looks perfectly clean, like unused, but very clearly the laboratory did not look half as much like a torture room as this room. But it being clean does somewhat comfort you because that means that although the goblins probably set this up, he has never had to use this. Which, although, yes, he does have a torture room, but, or an interrogation room, quote unquote. And I will say, the trauma when it comes to chairs absolutely does translate to him. There is not a single chair in this room.
Thank God.
For people who don't like chairs. Interesting.
Yes, and they have very good reason
They
to.
have a very good reason, yeah.
I think he has a
We
better
don't know
reason
the
than her.
reason, do
Because at
we?
least when Kindle was on the chair, she didn't feel as much pain. She just ended up, suddenly demon baby. No, but he did not get any anesthetic. So I do think it's fair.
He
The
definitely
main
had
pain
it
that Kendall
worse.
ever felt was from the magic itself. Never them actually physically cutting into her. But she didn't get to witness it.
She didn't get to witness it. But at least they were nice enough to give anesthetic. And from what you heard from him as well, they seemingly did not give anesthetic because they're nice people. The reason why they gave anesthetic is so that you couldn't fight back.
Yeah.
Which for them sadly also meant that sadly also meant that you didn't feel any pain, which is something they did not care about in the slightest. But it seems like the person actually doing the experiments is Terani, which is Maximilian's father. And after reading the list of it, by the way, this is all the rooms that you can very easily find. After reading the list of it, it is surprising to you. You thought there were going to be more than one victim because there's no way you're the only one. But there being 10 really did surprise you. That is way more than you expected. This goes much deeper than you originally thought.
And then also considering what happened in that quarry, there's going to be more.
Maybe, but from what you saw about Marcel, he seemed to be completely working alone. And what he was doing was not demon focused, it was aberrational. So it's a completely different crime, almost.
Almost.
Which is very sad to think about. But, well, that also seems to be on hold considering Marcel has disappeared. Okay then. What is it that now that I've named up all the general spots, there are other spots. There's a kitchen and everything, And everywhere, by the way, there's also an outside area. There's a courtyard. Already mentioned all those. Everywhere there are creatures. Not two of them look the exact same. Some of them look so incredibly different. Some of them make you flat out disgusted or uncomfortable. Some of them are very humanoid. And you can ask them stuff, but they likely won't respond. But if you need help with something, they can likely help you.
Kairos will
depending
most
on where it is.
likely walk around and just keep a general eye out on everyone and what they're doing, just in case.
Okay. Okay. So, what's your name? Kairos is wandering around, right?
Yep.
Okay. Crow, what do you do?
I'm gonna explore this place. Just look at all the different creatures, what I should call them.
Okay. How does Crow do this? Does he ask them?
Yeah, he is going to ask people. He is talkative sometimes.
Roll a luck roll for me. Tell me if you get an 18, 19, or 20.
I rolled a 18.
You actually rolled an 18.
Yeah,
I
look
cannot
on
believe it.
20.
So the reason why I said this is because that is the equivalent chance of finding a creature that can actually speak to you. I will say this because you're on the lower end. Okay, so out of the like you're in the outside courtyard, there seems to be building shit. They're building everything. They're building weapons. They're building well, buildings, of course. They're adding more parts to this, storage chambers, whatever, and walking towards your general direction, or seemingly like walking towards where you're coming from, is a creature what looks to be massive ribs on the spines of its back. Very dark fur. It's large. Its teeth and eyes are glowing in a bright light blue. And what do you do as this thing starts almost walking past you?
Wow, your teeth are shining.
And it then, as one of the few creatures that can actually respond, says, I appreciate it.
Yubi,
anything
what do
else to
you
say
do around
before it?
here?
Transportation and speaking.
Yeah, most that is here are quite quiet.
They cannot speak.
Then why can you speak if most others can't?
Yeah, the thing sits there, thinks for a bit. We do not know.
Hmm. Do you want any help with carrying things?
Roll for persuasion.
Sure. That's my
I'll say this:
favorite
this
role.
is technically not against any of the orders that Maximilian gave to him. So, I need to see
21.
21.
I do have plus 10, you know.
All right then. Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Go.
very persuasive.
You can help this thing with general transportation. Although I will say this. Okay, roll a strength check for me just to see how it goes.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I don't think a crow has really high strength. I'm gonna be honest.
11.
11. Okay, I'm just gonna show
Oh no.
you guys what this thing looks like. Because I don't think my description does it justice. I gotta send it here. This thing is at least 4 times as large and 8 times as heavy as you are, Crow. You're like lifting,
Adorable.
yeah, you're lifting like 1 box. This thing is holding like 15 boxes with the spines on its back. And you're just walking next to it. Would anyone like to stumble upon whatever the hell is happening?
Yeah,
Well, Kairos
sure.
is just walking around.
I will say Kairos and Kindle, you both, as you're both standing on each end of the hallway, you see each other. In between you, from the outside to the inside, there is a big creature holding with the like ribs on it. It looks like really big ribs. It's back, holding a set of crates next to it, walking, having a seemingly only mostly listening to Crow. It's not really responding as much. And Crow's just holding 1 box, which seemingly just is filled with potatoes, and they're just walking together into the building.
That's odd. But totally on brand for him.
Okay. So are there any questions that you would like to ask to Blue Fangs? Crow?
Nope.
No, I think it's just babbling.
Just babbling. You're just generally saying your thoughts to this random
Yeah.
demon that does not give a shit.
Absolutely.
Okay. Roll for insight for me. Actually, both you roll at a disadvantage. Kindle and Lachlan roll at normally
Oh boy.
because you're already mid
What's
babble.
this?
Roll
Insight.
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 You want me also to roll?
Yeah. You roll at disadvantage. The other 2 rolled normally.
That's a 20.
15.
The lowest is 20.
The lowest is 20. Well, then you all get it. There is a very high likelihood that every single thing you say to this thing will also absolutely be given as information to Maximilian. You just keep on babbling?
Yes.
Kindle and Kairos, do you guys let him keep on babbling?
In Kindle's mind,
okay
it's
for him?
freaking Crow. Crow is basically harmless, unfortunately.
Okay. Tell me what Crow is babbling about.
Yeah.
Just everyday life and also just how this place looks.
So they're
So
just
it's not like
completely random thoughts.
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing useful of information.
This is also
Maybe,
kind of why
yeah,
Kindle didn't show the list yet.
Roll a d4 for me. Roll a d4 for me, Sky.
Okay.
Two.
So, Kindle, don't rope us in. Don't rope me
Okay.
in with him.
So
He's
what I
technically
did
an odd
is
one.
that a 1 was severely important information. 2 was minorly important information, and the other 2 is probably doesn't matter. So you have at some point that Crow doesn't remember slipped in something pretty important.
Does Kindle overhear that?
No,
Okay.
you suffered the consequences by not stopping him earlier.
Okay. Fair enough.
Fern, what are you doing meanwhile?
Trying to find Caesar and Basil.
I guess roll for what would that be? Investigation. Roll
Yeah, it would be.
yeah, roll either
investigation.
investigation or nature.
I mean, survival would be
Depending on what
full
you're
of
better at.
tracks, you know. Perhaps
You could be
survival.
following track. These you're following tracks inside of a massive temple
That's full of
castle fort
creatures.
thing that's full of other creatures that are not human.
It's two animals
Which
that's running
one do you
wildly. They're
want
gonna
me
be a
to
mess on their
roll?
path.
Is it one of those 3 I get to roll?
Either investigation or nature.
Either nature or investigation. You get to choose. Dealer's choice.
The modifier's the same damn thing, so it doesn't really matter. I guess I'll roll investigation.
You have the same investigation in nature as a druid.
That is an 8.
Fair enough. An 8.
I've
gonna
not
be
been
looking.
rolling too good today.
Yeah, you're gonna be looking for a bit.
Yeah, I figured as much.
I will say this: you roll a d4 for me.
D. 4.
Because you rolled a 4. You see you do not find Basil and Caesar, although you can see some of the consequences of what they have done. But you do see the fly person, the fly thing that you were what's it called?
Fly's
that
eyes?
you know can speak. Yeah, fly's eyes.
Fly man.
Mm.
Do you guys want an image, or do you guys know what he generally looks like already?
Yeah.
That
I
does
have
not
no
answer my
clue.
question.
No, it's not.
I have no
Answer the
clue what
wrong
he looks like.
I don't
but
think a
they-
single person
like-
here knows what you just said.
Let's
Yes,
just
two
send a
questions
picture.
where that is available.
I'll send a
Yeah,
picture.
that is a possible answer. So that is.
Because I know what he looks like, but I don't think everyone has seen Castlevania.
Mm.
There you
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
generally what I was
and-
what I was imagining.
Fly person.
It
by
looks
the way.
like that, huh?
Yeah. It is very disgusting, and it smells like it too.
It smells like it too.
Hmm, I guess I'd ask him if he's seen them passing by. I don't have the energy to actually roleplay it. I'm sorry.
It's fine. All right then. It's gonna roll perception with advantage. I will say this perception is a +2. Oh, wow. I rolled an 18 and a 2, so it's with advantage to get an 18. I'll say that it's very much able to point you in the general direction of where it is, of where they went.
I'll go that way then.
This is what happened. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna limit roleplay with you a bit, considering you're kind of tired. Just so you know, if you don't want to join the session, that's fine. By the way,
Yeah, I want to sit in.
all right,
It's fine.
just offering, Okay. I will say, considering you're both wandering, Lachlan, where does Kairos generally like to wander?
He generally would probably wander around where the more vulnerable people are,
What do you mean vulnerable?
aka Glacial, and most likely what was her name?
Canada.
Keep forgetting her name.
Canada.
Thanada.
Yeah, Canada.
Yeah. Which Thanada is still confused. Thanada is still confused by that. Okay, I'll say with that logic, you can see Maximilian speaking a bit to Thanada, but it's very much passing conversation and them trying to figure out each other's intentions before Thanada walks away and he walks towards you.
Okay. I
And
just
he
nod my
looks at
head.
you. Yeah. He looks at you, nods back, and says, "Is this a more recent companion, or have you been around her for long?"
What do you mean by that?
Well, this is a very interesting group that I don't really understand what you all are doing.
Well, I'll just say this. We originally came here to get me a pact with a Fae. With an Archfey.
May I be honest?
Sure.
First a Chronal Paladin and then a Archfey. Your decision-making skills are terrible.
Well, to be fair, I had no choice. when it came to becoming a Chrono Paladin,
I
he
have.
kind of just did it. I pretty much had no choice but to follow.
It is strange. I have only heard a few things about the God of Time, and none of it was good. Recently,
Yes.
towards the east, I saw one of his followers wandering around. He answered some pretty important questions for me.
Yeah, I'll probably go and try and help him out a little bit.
You know him?
I know of him thanks to one of the Archfey that I hopefully will pact with.
Where did you originally? You did not start off in the. You did not start off in the Fractured Remnants. Where is it that you started off your journey?
Well, we started off. Where was it again?
The Unending Festival.
We started our journey, at least in the Feywild, in the Unending Festival, was it? Whatever.
Hmm.
The festival thing that was going on.
Oh, so the patron that you are talking about is Lady Strixie.
Yes.
If you do see her again, give her my regards. I owe a lot to her.
Okay.
And I'll say at this point, after he says that, you hear a weird magic-y noise and then crashing behind you.
Kauso instantly turn around.
How's this? One thing. Maximilian is looking in that direction already. Does not look at it. And I'll say you look behind you. And someone who you have not seen in a very long time, M.R. Fargon, holding a crate who seems to have just walked out of one of his weird portals, fallen on his face, head inside of the crate. Just, oh, I'm sorry. It's been a while, hasn't it? As he looks onto his
Well,
arm,
hello
where
again there.
he looked at his arm where a watch would be. There is no watch on it. It's been a while. And
Yes, it has.
picks himself up, picks up the crate, and says, "Oh well, where do we seem to be?"
Well, I've met you at least 2 times by now.
Oh, so this is okay. But it's a bit dark.
We're also currently in the Feywild.
Oh, that's normal. You'll spend a lot of time here. Uh, this place is a bit creepy and the music does not help. I'll say this after you responded multiple times to nothing. Maximilian looks behind you, sees nothing, looks back at you and says, "What are you talking to?"
Just some omniscient, well, not really omniscient, but a person who's sort of gone through time, kind of mixed in between it.
I'm gonna
Never really there, but at the same time there as well.
I'm gonna really quickly roll something. All right then. I will say, upon hearing this, he responds. Thinks for a second. Says, "Is it well? Does it look strange? Not really caring about the world?"
Somewhat, but also I get good information.
Huh. Is it from the future and the past all at the same time?
Yes.
My friend, you are being followed by a Prisma.
Interesting. Well, thanks for that information.
Roll insight for me.
Oh, nearly lost my tiny D20.
Why would
This
you
is going-
use the tiny
Don't
dice?
use the
that's pretty
tiny one.
important, by the way. Yeah, this is why I don't use.
Yeah.
This is why I didn't get them. I know they're cheaper and everything, but like, I will lose them.
They're cute though.
They're
That's
cute.
a 21.
21. Okay, this will be important for everything. You see a weird sort of smile takes over him. This is the happiest you've seen him. and he then says, "What does it look like?" And do you need a redescription of Miss Mr. Fargon for if you don't remember?
Yes, please.
So for you, it is an Aarakocra male with seemingly an afro of hair that does not fit an Aarakocra. A shirt and pants that does not fit it or like fit the time period that it's in, and is a bit of a goofy person.
Well, for me, he looks like an Arakaka with an afro and very silly pants.
He. All right then, and
Yes.
I'll say because of that high insight. In spite of him, this guy's very good at hiding his emotions. And if you hadn't gotten that 20 or 21, the DC was 20, you would not have nailed it. That happiness wafts into a sort of sadness. As he, what's it called? No one else would have been able to see this unless, like, you're really good at reading people. As says, all right then. And I'm going to roll something for Mr. Fargon. This will be a DC 10. So he needs to get a 10. Oh, shit, I fucked up the roll. It's a 5. All right, then. He says, okay, who is this person that you're talking to? Almost pushes you back. Looks at him.
Maximilian.
Yeah. Seems to be inspecting him. Okay, now you mentioned his name. Come on. Roll forward. Okay. Yeah, Maximilian. Never heard of him. Although this person does seem very true. A bit emo, don't you think? Maybe a bit self-tired, sad, doesn't really like himself. I had noticed it. He seems to be leaking. Did you tell him that he's leaking?
He knows he's leaking.
Are you sure? And he takes him on his head. Maximilian doesn't show that he feels a thing. Do you know that you're leaking?
I don't think he can hear you.
He does smell of cinnamon. Let me just... And he walks his finger over under one of his eyes and licks his finger. I'm going to have him roll for Constitution.
Oh my god.
And he doesn't take damage, but he immediately starts like just like completely noises you were never expecting to hear.
He's
Spitting
retching.
out, spitting on the floor, just retching. He's not vomiting, and he hasn't taken damage, but this is. He just says, "Oh, it's like if a corpse 100 days old had diabetes," and like, yeah, and he what's it called? Maximilian doesn't see any of this, and he just sees you like looking. What is your response to seeing this, by the way?
Tyros will be absolutely laughing right now.
What is it doing?
Tasted the fluids that are dripping from you.
I am surprised by your honesty, and that is disgusting.
He said it tasted like the dead and also diabetes. Actually, you might not know what diabetes are yet. It hasn't been discovered yet.
I have been cutting up corpses since I was 8. Now I definitely believe you that there is a prisma here. I am sad I cannot see it. Question, do you know why I can't see it and you can?
I don't know, but there is one other person in my party who does see him, and I'm pretty sure he also has a slightly different description.
I'll say actually to change this. Everyone has seen him once at some point. He just mostly interacts with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Has Kindle seen him? I'm not sure.
yes, you have seen him. I don't know. I think
Once.
Seraphy's the one. I think
Yes,
Kindle's seen
Seraphy
him,
did.
yeah.
Seraphy did. I know
Yeah,
Seraphy did.
Seraphy has seen him for. Kindle has never. I mean, you're wandering around anyway.
I mean, sure.
You walk in, you see Maximilian talking to Kairos while there is a man dressed like he looks like how you'd imagine. Weird enough, it's how your brother would look, but smaller. What's it
You
called?
mean if I had
Smaller,
a brother?
completely different clothing. If you had a brother, it's how you'd imagine a brother would look. While like dry retching onto the floor, completely different clothing, while Kairos is giggling and Maximilian just seems confused.
Kendall just walks up and is like, "Why is there a beach kid here?"
Ah, so you can see him too then.
Well,
He
that
looked like an Aarakocra to me.
and with again your very high inside roll, you will notice he is surprised by this, in spite of him seemingly knowing a lot about what's called a prisma, which is what he's calling this thing, and simply says,
Okay.
They are creatures with a defense mechanism that is automatic. Anything that is strong enough cannot see it. That, along with some interesting abilities depending on the thing, does make them quite interesting creatures, although they are non-hostile.
Okay.
All right then. Um, can you also see this spitting that it is doing on the floor, and while looking at Kindle?
Yes. Why is it
Ah,
doing
tell
that?
it.
He tasted the goo dripping from them.
Oh,
I am. Tell it to clean after itself, and you can see he's almost gotten sad again. Well, I have you both here. Might as well tell you this. Well, I will be having lunch in approximately 2 hours. If you and your party would like to join, you can.
I'll go tell
Okay,
the
thank you
others
for the
then.
invitation.
After all, we
all
need
right
to
then.
eat something.
Yes, we all should, and I have been working for far too long. As he walks away and leaves, while I'm going to roll one more for Emma Fargon. He has rolled a 4, a 3, and a 7. The DC was a 10. Okay.
Kairos will try to tap him on the back. Like, pat him on the back.
No worries. I'm good. Oh, and who's this lovely woman? You are very tall.
That's Kindle.
Who are you?
Emma
This is
walks up to you. Well, walks up to you before you even can talk. Walks up to you, grabs your hand, shakes it. Emma Fargon, pleased to meet you. So is that thing behind you, but I don't know if it can see me. And you can just see Curiosity is not reacting to anything. So there's no way that Curiosity can see this thing.
Considering what Kindle knows, she finds that very interesting.
I was gone for a while. I'm gonna assume that this is introduction, but we have seen each other before. We might see each other again. I do not exactly know. Things keep changing. It's weird. How do I say this? And I'm gonna roll if he fuddles up something.
Yes.
He doesn't. He rolled a
Things
nat
do
20.
seem-
Okay,
Change a
finally.
lot.
That's not good for you guys. That means that he doesn't say something pretty important. And all right then. I just had this crate, and he looks into it, and inside of it, there seems to be a bunch of completely useless shit. You know that feeling when you walk into the kitchen to do something, but you don't know why you went there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have that. I'm leaving now. Bye. And portal opens, grabs the crate, walks through it. You hear stumbling. Portal closes.
The fuck was that?
So, that was Fargon or whatever the fuck.
Fargon.
I have seen him multiple times and has given me multiple bits of information.
Okay.
Seems to show up to me a lot. And apparently
so-
will in the future even more,
And here I thought I was
from
the
what he
weird
told
one.
me. Yeah.
Okay. So, I will say this. As Maximilian seems to be wandering around the castle, he does also walk into the very useful crow support to Blue Fangs, transporting the single box. And you can see Maximilian looks at Blue Fangs, looks at Crow, and just says, Are you trying to help?
Hey, this one talks. Yeah, I'm helping. The boxes go this way. Where this way is, I don't know. She also
look-
helping?
He looks at Blue Fangs, and Blue Fangs does as close as it can to a shrug. Looks back at you and says, all right then. That's fine. Just those boxes are supposed to go there for storage. I have some stuff I need to go sign off. And walks a bit further. You can still see him, but he is just standing there, seemingly writing stuff down that a different creature has given him. And Blue starts walking away, and I will say you feel a tap on your shoulder, Crow.
I turn around.
You see behind you that same astral figure of Elodie, who seems to have shown up again.
Looks, he had a smile where I think was going on, then it just slowly fades.
Well, this seems to be an interesting place. Thought I would pop in again. And suddenly the figure of Elodie looks at Maximilian. Roll insight for me.
Insight. What was my insight again? Yeah, +5.
Yeah, roll for me. Okay, cool.
15.
15. I'll say that's more than enough. This is the expression that he makes when looking at Maximilian is an expression that you never in your entire life have seen Elodie make. As it is just disgust. You are in the fortress of a thief. And you can see how long will you be staying here? And this is the first bit of proper anger you've seen from him since you've met him.
I mean, Crow doesn't really know. He's just there.
You are not one for killing, correct?
I try to keep things alive.
If you can find even the slightest reason to kill this thing, please do. And I'll say after this, the figure, realizing your discomfort, disappears.
Well, yeah, this
Seeming-
discomfort. It also looks like he has this small relief as he hears him talk about it being this thing and not actually her, from the sounds of it.
I will say this, that in spite of it taking the figure of Elodie, your mind is slowly starting to figure out how to differentiate this from her without tainting her memory. Is there anything anyone else would like? I'll say about this one, around 10 minutes before the lunch is when when you find Caesar and Basil.
Okay.
Unreal. Is there anything else you'd like to do with them before they keep running around destroying shit?
Wait, I still have the box, don't I?
You still have the
I don't
box.
know
You
where
can
to
put it
take
down.
this.
Put the box
Or
where
you
it
can
goes.
take it with you to the.
Box
Blue Fangs is
taking it
gone
with me because
after.
I have
Just
no
so you know,
idea where
they-
to put it.
Blue Fangs is gone after this conversation. You just have a box full of potatoes.
I'm taking it with me because I don't know where to put it.
Okay.
He just has a box. Crow just has a box of potatoes now.
All right then. Fern,
You
back to
say
you.
potatoes,
Anything
I
you are going
say
to do
tomatoes.
with the after
I
you
will
found Basil?
pick up Basil.
Okay.
Because getting her up in my arms is gonna help against the clearly very interested Caesar.
Yes, Caesar's still very interested after 4 hours. And I'll say Caesar is just walking behind you, even though you've picked up Basil. Basil doing its best to ignore still very interested Caesar. And it is like how humans used to hunt back in the day, where Caesar isn't a very quick hunter. Caesar's just very, very persistent. Um, so as you
Persistent
continue,
hunter.
it is a persistence hunter, and as you make it to the lodge, I will say there is so much on the table. What's it called? Maximilian's already sitting there, who seems to have approached at just the on time. I'll say, due to Crow being confused, it'll come a bit later. There's
Yeah.
everything on table. There's eggs. There's like different meats. There's things from the material plane, things from the Feywild, like normal salads, vegetarian options, whatever. Literally anything that you would think fits in like a lunch is here. And clearly, this is more extravagant than he would ever make it for himself. This is a guy who feels like he would be like eating in the 5-minute breaks in between fixing up corpses. Like that is what this guy feels like. And he just seems to be right now, because you guys are here, might as well make it good, because he knows you guys are going to be here for a bit. And
Interesting.
I will say that you all okay, so you're at the table, and weirdly enough, Maximilian is sitting down. And just says to you all outside of Crow's not here yet. If you have, go ahead, take whatever you want. I promise you I will not be eating this on my own. And even
Okay.
I'll say, who enters with La Ciel, by the way?
Probably me. I probably wouldn't win a gun finder.
Yeah.
Most likely me and Kendall.
Okay.
Kairos
What
and
is the
Kendall.
sitting order here?
I think the way I
Well,
would
obvious.
do it is that Kindle would probably be sitting right next to Winter. And not
Yeah.
close
Yeah.
to Maximilian, but close enough.
All right then. Would anyone brave being directly next to Maximilian? Oh, yeah.
Sure, Kairos will.
Oh,
All right then. So it'll be, I assume then, you on one side. What's it called? You, Glaciel, Kindle, and on the other side, I think a chair away Fern. Right? Unreal. All right
Yeah.
then. As he sits there, I'll say Thanada. Thanada, who seems to have just taken some sort of like cleaned herself after seemingly she has done nothing for 4 hours but train. You don't even know how she trained. None of you went to the training area, and goes in like maybe 30 minutes later and sees nice food, and without even thinking, just sits in the empty chair between Maximilian and Fern, not even thinking of the like. You can notice that there is a difference between everyone who thoughtfully thinks of where they should sit. She does not give a shit. She just goes in, sits wherever. And Crow, you walk in, and Maximilian welcomes you and says, "What is that you are holding?"
Oh yeah, but potatoes.
Were those the potatoes that you were holding earlier?
Yes.
You have been holding a crate of potatoes for 30 minutes?
I don't know.
Is there any reason why you are holding my potatoes for 20 or 30 minutes?
I don't know where to put them. He looks very worried. His expression. He's kind of panicking.
I thank you for your patience. And he grabs the potatoes and simply
Real.
puts them next to his chair.
Oop, I missed that.
If
I
you would
have
like
no clue
to.
what happened. My Discord disconnected me.
Well, that was weird.
And
He has grabbed the potatoes, set them next to his chair, and he just says, well, if you would like to take a seat, eat whatever you want. I will be honest, I do not know what Aarakocras eat, and I have no books about it. So, if you do not find any of this tasteful, please do inform me. I can have something else made. Otherwise known
seeds
as
and
I make it.
fish mostly, but can also eat other stuff.
They can eat meat and they can eat
Yeah.
a lot of things actually. So it's not an issue.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I do not have much experience with your people.
Fair enough.
Honestly, I do not have much experience with people. This has made me realize that I have been alone for far too long. If anyone does have questions, you can ask them, but you seem to all be very keen on privacy. Although, all of you but one. As he looks
I
at.
also look over at Crow.
Yeah, he also looks over at Crow. I will inform you that, well, you have not been watched in the night. Anything you do say to most of the creatures, I will hear eventually. And one of them that I did hear, What is your story? As he looks at Glaciel. I'll say now, Crow, you remember you flubbed something about trying to help Glaciel back when she was still learning her language, meaning that Glaciel's very much not an Eladrin and a winter elf and a snow elf. Although, what's his name? Maximilian doesn't know exactly what that means. So now he's trying to figure out. Do any of you respond before Glaciel responds?
Only thing he responds with is oops.
I also just look at Kindle and then Glacial.
You can
Kindle
see
mostly gives a look of reassurance. Like, if you don't want to talk, you don't have to. Kind of look.
Glaciel is as steadfast as she usually is, just says, I am not a snow elf, no. Or I'm not a Eladrin, no, I am a snow elf. Yeah, it's confusing, but I have been with these people for as long as I have been in this time. I trust them. And I'll say, he goes to grab his wine glass, drinks from it a bit, looks at you, Kindle, and says, a child. And who here speaks Sylvan?
Me.
Yeah, I do.
Is it just Fern and Kindle?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Fern, Kindle, you both understand what he says next as, are you sure that people such as us should be involved with children?
To be honest, I respond back in Sylvan.
Mhm.
Looking after her has been good for me.
But
And it's also been good for the people here. I wouldn't
Are you
have it any
sure?
other way. Not to mention she has learned so much.
I will say before you can even finish speaking, Glaciel stands up, walks over to Maximilian, walks behind Kairos with zero warning, summons a spear and holds it to his neck. He holds his chair backwards, holds his hands up as she says in Sylvan, it's a rough Sylvan, but it is Sylvan, she proceeds to say, if you ever make Kindle or anyone else in the group question themselves again, I will I'll slit your throats and leave you to die.
I forgot
There's-
Kindle has been teaching her Sylvan.
Yeah. And I will say this, while that is also happening, Kairos, you will remember that she was reading a book in a different language. She seemingly was learning Sylvan all this time, and although it is rough, it is very much functional. And he then stops for a second, starts laughing, almost as if he's laughing at something stupid that he did. Seemingly hand open, one of the hands that he's put up, just pushes away her spear in a very polite fashion. Pushes away his chair, stands up, and says, I do apologize. And this time in common, bows a bit even to this child and says, I overstepped. I do apologize. I did not realize this was a point of contention. I will never overstep again. And if I do, please do warn me. And Kindle, I did not mean anything by it.
I know you didn't. That's why I was
Glacial.
honest.
Glaciel, seemingly satisfied, goes and the spear disappears. She sits back down. While having like a very big look, a very strong look to her. Although this was very random from her, you are kind of happy that even in this moment where it was unnecessary, she, in spite of her being a child, she's still someone that has your back. And you just immediately, Thanada immediately just pipes up and says, well, damn. And just keeps eating.
Kairos will also say, damn, I need to start to learn Sylvan.
If you want to learn, I can teach you.
It is a very
That
it's a surprisingly easy
that would-
language.
That would probably be helpful, especially if we're going to be here as long as I think we're going to be.
Maximilian, I'll say this by the way to Kindle specifically. You have dealt with a lot of people that act like Maximilian. They're nobles. They're like fake kind. They're polite, but nothing behind the eyes. What he just did is something that not a single one of them has ever did, which is see that they were at fault and then apologize. And even now, he proceeds to just say, was that a sorceress ability? And instead of speaking about her, starts speaking to her, which is something that you're also not used to. As she responds, maybe it's to lighten the conversation, maybe it's just, I don't know, a child talking about what they do. Just, no, I'm a witch. And he says, well, that explains your exceptional learning abilities. I truly did not mean anything by it. And Lasselm said, it's fine. It's fine. I am also just more happy that you are not as scary as Kindle thought you were. And he then turns to Gills. Oh, you thought I was scary.
To be honest, I was reliving memories.
Makes sense. I don't know how openly I can speak of what I know with these people. How open may I be?
As open as you want. I'll
All right then.
fill in things if you need me to.
All right then. Well, it does make sense. I was playing a song that was played at the worst part of your life, and something that I realized after yesterday. I work very similarly to my father, which I don't know how to feel about. My father is the one that did this to us. I. hmm. Does bring back very uninteresting memories, but I will say, what would your name was Kairos, correct?
Yes.
I do thank you for today. You have brought me back with some very joyful memories due to some of the things you have mentioned.
Well, I also thank you for the information of what exactly they were.
Took me solid 3 years of interacting with one before I ever figured it out, and it was in very rare scrolls. I still have it on my table, but I do not think it'll give you more information than I've already told you.
Hmm.
And also, well, it may surprise you, but Lady Trixie and me have interacted plenty, and well, using my theater prowess, there was very much a break. Yes, even though I am quite grim, I do have the capability to not be grim. And Nathanada says, I couldn't have bloody believed it. And just, she doesn't drink the wine, she is just drinking whatever else is there. And maybe it's like, I think there's some orange juice there, and just starts drinking that. But the way, I'll say this, by the way, the way that Tanada eats is like, even though she's 16, she's had a drink before, clearly. She's just not doing it around you guys. And she is eating like she's just at a tavern, you know? Now, my troops have informed me that a squirrel carrying a bag of holding has been traveling across the sands. I'm going to assume that that is connected to your friend Serdan, who seems to have left.
Most
I
likely.
believe so.
From what I have seen, that squirrel is faster than most of my forces, and it will be here at around evening. So that means that at that point your payment will be fulfilled, and you will be able to go wherever you may please for the foreseeable future that I am still here, which may not be an incredibly long time, but it is far longer than you will likely be here.
Yeah, most likely.
I do warn you after this point, the storms do get quite severe, but, and then pointing at Canada, who's mid-bite, says, you do seem to have that handled already. And Canada just swallows and says, I'm gonna try. I'm good at navigating it alone, but I don't know how it's gonna end up with all of us. Especially considering that we are traveling on foot. And and then he says, I have some, I wouldn't call them horses, that I could offer until you could send them back after you have left my territory. They will know the direction. But calling them horses would be something. It wouldn't.
Guess
It would be enough for most of you, but some of you would have, like, I think Fern. I'm going to assume you do not need a horse, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I assume.
Yeah.
So would any of you here prefer a horse? Because then I can measure out. Maybe I can hand them to you, and you can send them back once you leave my territory.
Out of curiosity, Unreal, what is the speed of Fern?
Uh, I don't remember at the top of my head. 1 moment. 45.
45 would be fine enough to keep up with a slow horse.
Alright. Because Kindle on all fours has double speed.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't think that anyone wants to see Kindle run on all fours unless they're into something.
Look at
That's
the-
fine.
Except for maybe Glaciel.
Glacial could ride you, probably. She's a child.
Yeah.
And not, yeah, like she's very, you'd be able to do that. I don't think she ever would, because the idea of casting spells on the back of something moving that radically, I don't think would ever make sense. Considering that
But
you're
yet people
genuinely
still
like
do it.
almost double her size. Yeah, people still do it, but I wouldn't suggest it. And also, there is not a size difference. They are both Glaciel and Kindle are considered medium creatures, in spite of one of them being 4'5" and the other one being 8 feet. So they shouldn't need to eat, but they would prefer it. So I'm going to assume it will be you, pointing at Kindle. You considering that you are wearing heavy armor, and while pointing at Kairos.
Mhm.
Would you like one? While pointing at Crow.
No.
All right then. Can she ride? Or actually, can you ride, Glaciel? And then Glaciel says, "Yeah, I can. I will see if I have a smaller one, but I will try to get it to match you." All right then. You can resume until he has come. You can stay for as long as you like, and you can consider this place a safe harbor if you are fine with the feelings that might be attached to it. And I will wish you a safe journey when it becomes time to do so. You could also decide for you to move after another night's sleep, if that is what you would wish.
We would probably want to go as soon as possible.
Agreed.
I would prefer it. We have important things to do. I will say the desert gets quite dark at nighttime.
Yes, we did notice that.
I assume that is around when I picked you up. All right then.
Yes.
I will have them prepare clean rations. I'll have them prepare fine rations. You will have horses. Just send them back once you've reached territory, because if you don't, they will kick you off.
Yep.
All right then. As he stands up, I'll say this, by the way. Danida has eaten at least 3 times what everyone else has.
Well, a growing kid does need their nutrients.
Yeah.
Glaciel, yeah, Glaciel also like eating fine. Um, and you guys all, is there anything anyone would like to do before you move on?
Kindle would like to ask
Maybe go-
Maximilian one more question.
I will say Maximilian's probably in the training area. I'll say you probably went there with Glaciel just for a little bit, just to do something, even though it's not really as standardized as it used to back when you were at the castle. And by the way that he's fighting, he is clearly a Hexblade warlock.
That kind of surprises me a
Okay,
little bit.
What is it that you were expecting?
Something more wizard or sorcery. But besides that, I have a question.
Firstly, I have a hammer and I'm going to use it. Secondly, what is your question?
What does newborn mean? Exactly.
They all gave the names of the things that they found after they put it in. With mine they called it the Leaking Void, even though before I killed it, it was alive. With, oh wait a second, I'm gonna read quickly. Hey, Mama.
I get it.
I yeah, I'm gonna continue immediately. Sorry, I was calling. Just says, yeah, well, it was the names that they gave after they were put in, and mine was called the Leaking Void because, well, it started leaking, and yours was called the Newborn. I never understood until you told me that this thing is almost like a child. It seems to be born and then immediately put into you.
Hmm.
Although the names that they use are somewhat disheartening, don't you think?
Agreed.
I have not interacted with anyone on this list. You are my first one, have you?
Multiple.
Wow. And those would be?
1 second.
And those would be?
Thalion is one of them.
I remember my father speaking about him one time, calling him a grim scientist. You spoke to him recently?
If I remember correctly, it was about a month right before we came here. He was interested in a
Huh.
forge that my friend made.
In the material plane?
Yes.
You could see immediately his reaction started up. Good to know. Anyone else?
I'm looking at the list. Give me a second. I'm trying to remember.
Should I mention them?
Yes.
You have seen Marcel Exatul, which was what's it called? It seems to have disappeared.
Marcel
Calypso Morgan,
and Calypso, and I remember Thalion.
Thalion as well. I would like for you to roll history twice. Once for Baldathas and once for Cassigan.
Alright. Alright. First one's a 23.
Mhm.
Oh god. Other one. I think that's a 12, yeah.
All right then. Cassigan, you have heard one mention of this man's name. This man is known as the richest person alive. It is a human. You don't know much more than that. And this man has been the richest human alive or richest person alive for a very, very long time. And Baldathas, you know a lot more about. This man is the master of divination, second in command to Calypso in the wizard's court. High elf, very powerful wizard. Although you at this point, very powerful wizard basically just means Valmont at this point. And what's it called? If Calypso were to ever die, this is the man who would be second in command, and this is the man that Calypso publicly trusts the most. And he is most definitely not a good person.
Yeah.
Although I think that was very easily translated from him doing experiments on you guys. Although say Cassigan is probably publicly much kinder than Baldathas. All right then. Anything else anyone would like to do?
No.
All right then.
Mhm.
You all pack your gear, start preparing everything. And I'll say, the horses that you get, they're almost horses. They're pretty close, but they have two sets of eyes. The eyes themselves are black and red instead of white and black. And some have horns, and all of them have fangs.
Hmm.
Uh,
Interesting.
as he says to y'all, as I said, they prefer to eat meat, not greens. Uh, one more thing. There are a lot of storms, and there is a knight running around killing every single little creature that I have, well, sent there to check it out. He lives in a shack. We'll might likely pass by him.
Okay.
I don't know what his intentions are, but he has killed several of my spawn, and a lot of them are very powerful.
Hmm.
So, that is your last warning. I wish you luck.
Thank you for
Yep.
everything.
He nods and simply just looks at you. Doesn't really wave, but just watches as you all ride off and grimly walks back to his fortress of solitude. And that is where I will be ending the session.